My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. I know for this one I may be pretty close to the camera, but there was a little thing I wanted to come on here to demonstrate for a moment as far as just how we kind of make out little lines for these mangers before we carve them. I've shown you in previous videos the ways that I carve out after they're already sawn, but wanted to take this little moment just to show you all a step or two as to how they are done and as to how the sewing is done. And you see we've got these little lines here. These are the lines that we sew along, and so are these. You've probably already seen the measurements made out sometime, but I'm going to do a little demonstration here on how we will sew those lines. Now I'll tell y'all, you see we got things a little crooked here, and that's just likely to happen sometimes, so we gotta kind of go back, fix little things like that if we can, try to make them a little turn out better. So I say that this is just kind of how we see it coming along for now and how it's going to be. So let's kind of work on this other little manger as well, see how much better we can get the line in it. This one we got it to come out much better, more like the way it's supposed to be. So hopefully this side is flat enough we can get these ones in just right. And I say we kind of got it equal on both sides here. That's going to make it much better. So kind of come back, take care of little things with this one here, get the lines right in. I say that this is how I just wanted to demonstrate a little thing or two that we do here. And we're going to also have a series coming up where I demonstrate how I carve the nativity figures with the larger knives. In the two videos I just did about the coming forth, I already demonstrated the beginning of that, but think I might like to go a little further and take it further and make a new series on that, continuing with the next few steps. Thank you very much. Goodbye. As you all could probably see, I decided to take that little video clip where I just sawed out the little lines on these two mangers and put it with the beginning of this new series. I'm starting to record the first video too right now, where I will be demonstrating how we carve with these larger knives. And as you know, in those two videos I just recorded about the coming forth, where I wanted to share a few patriotic things about our country and our Independence Day. I kind of already got started on these little holy families that are carved from pieces of African and genuine mahogany. So I say that for the most part, I tend to get these patterns quite memorized and kind of know where I'm going with them, but I'd say that there's probably a few things I just kind of learn to do a little better as the time goes on, and I'd say there's probably a little step we're going to take at this moment where we're going to take the two pieces of Mary, and you see where right here where the shoulder line is, we can kind of carve up along that and just demonstrate up to how it's done. And perhaps I'd say that there's different knives we use to take on different little steps. And as for, I'd say, what it is with this knife here, we just got a little cut to make right here, right about where the shoulder line is going to be, and just kind of cut little lines into that, make it so, wow, I tell you where her shoulder line goes, I say. And the things in life, this is just one of my special things, little carving we do. Oh, I tell y'all that just a little binding stuff, I say, just kind of make it so we've got what we will just have right here, I say, kind of go and just put a little work right in. And this is kind of how far we come along at digging into this little line that is above the shoulder line, and kind of put the little place in there. Not sure exactly whether I got the words right. That's probably not really the shoulder line, but just a little place that is above the shoulder line where we kind of cut to make the part that is above Mary's hands. It's going to be a little bit different with Joseph though, because we go a little further below the shoulder line, and it took me a little while to kind of figure this stuff out, because there were times I'd do videos and series where I'd probably carve like several sets at once, and several Marys at once, and several Josephs at once, all at the same time, and sometimes forget that the place above Mary's hands was supposed to be a little higher. And I'd say, as for those nativities I made in that way, they kind of came out the best way they could, but we get these things a little bit better as we take them over time, you know. And I'd say, like, as for how these chips are going everywhere, yes, I'll be getting a carving apron sooner or later. I need to, but I'd probably also just say one thing to mention is the way my family is, they like for me to make wish lists on Amazon so that they can purchase things for me at Christmas time. I don't think of too many things I want or can use, but I put things on the list because it might be things I'd like. This is one particular thing I can think of right now to put on the list, so even though I might have to wait till Christmas to get it, I might put a carving apron on the list, one that has the kind that has a pouch around it, a kangaroo-like pouch that is held up by a little plastic loop that catches the chips. And for now, got one little cut to make up here to make this little thing just kind and bright as it's going to be. I say that just carving like this is going to be the theme of most of my videos, most of what I do, I say. And you know, there's kind of a lot of stuff in the world been around busybody people at times, try to, want to tell me how to do certain things, but I say one thing for sure, some things aren't going to count in the long run and not going to matter in the future. So there's no telling what I might be doing tomorrow. Maybe whether it be coming on here making more of these videos, or if it be going back to my Zumba class at the Y. Don't know exactly whether there's some things that might end up being a little too hot to do. We know we're supposed to get thunderstorms later today that might probably cool things down a little bit, so I say that that's what it's going to be worth when it comes down to a little bit more work. Try not to make this video too awful long, I say, because it's going to be a thing that really works a wonder in us. I tell you, and again, I say these chips might be getting everywhere. I think I might be going back sooner or later to getting out the vacuum, trying to get up as little as there are before there gets to be way too many, I say. And for just the kind of work we have and do and see, I say, oh, kindness is just kind of like the work we see us do in ourselves. I say, just a little shaving and chipping. I'd say right now we got the African mahogany one. We got the genuine mahogany one a while ago, but I say for just a kind little bit of work, making a little way into us, I say this is just kind of the ways we see a little thing just freaking coming right along, kind of try to remove a little more, flatten things out a little more, see how they're going to be when it comes down just to what we really, really, really want to make. So I'm telling you all that I'm keeping up with the time here. Hopefully not going to take too long, and I tell you all just kind of how this little work takes its place, and the little chips get brushed off here and there. And just for the work we have and the work we do and the business we founded, it's just a thing where, as for how this little video series goes, I begin to demonstrate the things I do with the bigger knives. I decided to make a little photo of the little knife set to sort of put up as the thumbnail for this video series, and I say that it's just one of those things where we're going to continue to use the knives with these much, much harder woods, and there can always be more to say as we kind of get a little further along, and maybe, just maybe, kind of look up to the next step of the book. I say maybe with the time we have, try to carve in at least one little area that is right above the hands on at least one, and see how much time it takes. But I tell you all that with softer woods, this part doesn't take long to do, but we get a little work done right in, and see how we make a little light shine and make a little happiness come our way bright little statues and carvings of wood, I say they'll be expensive. They're a lot of work and we charge high prices, so it's like somebody was asking me last night about my shepherd carving, how much I charge for it. But I'll tell you this, things are charged according to the amount of work, the time that goes in them, the price of the wood, things like that. I thank you all again for coming on to watch. Got little things to show as we move further along. Thank you again, and always, always keep in touch. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.